Hello! Music has made a way into our lives one way or another, and we probably heard our first music as soon as we were born, but we're too young to make decisions at the time as to what type of music we associate with ourselves. Eventually, as we learn to grow older, we eventually learn how to make these decisions, like what kind of music we like, what artist, what genre, what album. We eventually learn to make all these decisions in concrete ways that help define us as people with our tastes of music. As people grow up, they learn to find their own types of enjoyable music. Doi Ong, an article writer from The Verge, states that, quote, men figured this out at around 13 through 16 and women at around 11 to 14, end quote. It is true for a lot of people that throughout their teen/young adult years, people learn to figure out what type of music ensures them as their own, and what type of music they'll, say, put into playlists where they'll constantly listen to them over and over again. Music is constantly surrounding society in the real, which is why it still plays a big role in defining how we listen to music and who we are in terms of music today. My name is Titus Wang, and today I will be confronting the influence of music and how music contributes both to the individual and to society. Music has the potential to change our moods. And this is true especially when people are going through rough times, because if your day has been rough, chances are when one of those people puts on music, they'll eventually stop feeling so bad, and they'll eventually feel excited or even happy that music is cheering them up, and the fact that they're listening to possibly their favorite music. The same is true for when they just want to feel even happier than they already are, than that they're having a great day and they just put on music and they feel even better. But this is especially true for when people aren't feeling so great. In short, feelings can change in moments from musical exposure itself. Shamir Heshmat, an article writer from Psychology Today, states that, quote, listening to music is an easy way to alter moods or relieve stress, end quote. This is how a lot of school students eventually get through their stress, by just listening to music. From my experience, I can personally say that whenever I'm stressed out, most of the time I will turn on music myself and just jam out to it, and suddenly I'll feel a little bit better about having to finish a huge homework load or something like that. And in addition to not feeling stressed out anymore, levels of dopamine are flooding the brain. This actually is what causes those happy feelings to start coming in to replace the horrible feelings that you might be feeling prior to listening to music. And other factors that come from listening to music include mood regulation, being able to stay happy while listening to music, memories that can be triggered from listening to certain songs, and even action tendencies, the ability to start making hand movements, to start tapping along to music, to start singing along to it whenever they feel happy. And music does not have to move just one person at a time. Music could start moving whole crowds. In fact, music is powerful enough to shift an entire atmosphere. The cultural impact of music is undoubtedly there, because since the beginning of time, ancient civilizations have figured out that coming up with their own tunes defines them as a civilization, as their own society. In a similar sense, we still do the same thing today, because there are so many different genres of music that describe our multi-mixed society that it is inevitable for us to say that music is what helps a lot of us get there. Belinda Huang, an article writer from Sonic Bids, states that, quote, if we can gain a more comprehensive awareness of how our art form is making a difference around us, we will undoubtedly become better musicians with a purpose, end quote. After world civilizations have defined their interests by developing their own tunes, it has only led to the evolution of music along with Homo sapiens. And even today, not just music defines the music category. There's also instrumental covers, acapellas, looping, and so much more that pretty much diversifies the music that we listen to today. And it gives us a whole new perspective on how we listen to the same songs. Music does not just bring one single behavior in individuals either. It pretty much allows huge crowds of people to be moved. A small group, a crowd, gatherings, an entire stadium can be moved by just a single song. Sound perception plays its role in open spaces. You could be walking past an alleyway and you could see somebody playing an instrument, just waiting to be noticed by certain people, and oftentimes they'll also ask for tips too. Chi Meng, An article writer from Frontiers in Psychology states that, quote, the frequency of the location and behavior are also important, such as whether it is neighborhood or urban behavior, end quote. Depending on how many people that might get their attention grabbed from somebody attempting to get their attention with music, it is very interesting to see how it all plays out. Within the same article, Meng and his team actually conducted a study in Harbin, China. They decided to have two acts in one corner of the square. One person would have a musical skill, while the other would have a skill other than music that they would try to show off to a crowd. With the non-musical skill, 8.3% of their test subjects just walked right past them, while with the musically talented person, almost no one walked past and at least stopped to listen for a while before moving on, which just goes to show how much attention music can grab from bystanders sometimes. And the crowd density was measured accordingly with sound as the variable. With the study, it was proven that a musical sound tends to attract more people over a non-musical skill. Today, I've talked about the impact of music and how it will continue to influence the world today as we speak. Music can easily swing the moods of individuals almost instantly. In just seconds, you could easily feel a different emotion other than what you are feeling after listening to music. Music makes an impact in almost every atmospheric circumstance. From time and time again, history has showed that as music continued to get passed down to more and more people, it only became more and more powerful and pretty much defined our society. It defined even our modern society. And music can bring out different behaviors in people, whether you're a bystander or whether you're the performer. Thank you.